goes up. You cannot run, but Fear is not going to let you hide. He wants to try and bring down a Force, but a Force ends ground. And Champ pulls Fear back in the base after her Force gets a double kill. Leap on the way! The leap on the swap on the leap!
Butchering Brax, phase shift dodges it, but to what end? They've done no damage. Now their song's down, and Fnatic are gonna move on here.
Both goes, they want to signal the tree line. Deadly gonna phase shift, and then when the Shiva's gone, they're gonna jump in. Koro! Big stun, double stun, Feed can cancel, Black Hole, won't go. He actually gets two. KYX wide up higher, locked in position. A Force with a double kill. Mushi, almost dead, and instead, pushing down. And SK will buy back, and GG! Navi! Are you ready? Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the MLG TKO tournament. I'm your host, TobiWan, bringing you our next game in our series of games for the European scene tonight. And we're in a game which is going to decide the fate of our two teams, which are playing currently, in fact, right now. It is Sigma going in their doubleheader, first up against NextKZ, second up against Virtus Pro, and they must win both games in order to force a tiebreaker for tomorrow's game. And that's just to get themselves through. While some teams are playing for bonus points tonight, these guys are playing to stay in MLG TKO. Let's get ourselves over inside the game, because that's where you want to go. And I'll bring in my co-caster for tonight, or at least for the start of this evening, and it's going to be Sneyking. Man, welcome to the broadcast.
Hello.
Sup. Sup.
Doing pretty well. How about you, Toby?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very, very well. Feeling actually a little bit more tired now as I realize that I'm not getting into the groove completely just yet. But hey, it's all about like that warm-up kind of thing. Warm-up exercise. We warmed up beforehand, now I'm ready for some serious action. It wasn't really a lot of time to warm up though, like 15 minutes, and then GG. I need a little bit more than that, man. I need more than that. And we might get it. NextKZ starts with Profit, so bring on the split push.
Yeah, split push indeed, and Sigma has a stand-in for today, I believe.
It's Soshka who's on the sidelines.
Soshka, yeah. She's missing for today.
Yes, Sigma have this weird thing with their schedule about like when everyone is available, and Soshka seems to be the one which always causes a problem for Sigma. I haven't actually asked and like worked out what the hell is going on and why he's not always available, but it was like their problem last night at the D2CL. They thought they had a postponement and ended up just being Miguel as well as Fader there to play. It's like, well, you can't play a game with only two players, but tonight they're not here in full force, but we do at least have 4 of their players with their stand-in W33.
Yeah, indeed. And right now, I think the W33, I'm just going we, because make it easy. I think he's the high-end matchmaking player who obviously plays on Europe. I think that's who he is. I'm not sure if he's some other super stand-in, but that's his name looks familiar to me, and that's what it reminds me of.
You know how when you start up a game, you should never really check your social networks, but I do just to make sure everything's going okay. It seems like the free-to-play documentary was just announced.
The one that was shown at TI?
Yeah, it's going to be released on March 19th.
Oh,
so,
man.
Finally everyone can see it! Finally!
That pre-screening was 9 months ahead, huh? That's quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about everybody else, but I cried during it. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. The emotions, the feels.
Oh man, I actually wasn't able to watch it because I actually went for food instead. But when I came back, all my friends who watched it was quite amazed, and I'm sure the community will have a pretty strong reaction towards it.
Yeah, the community's gonna love it. The community is absolutely gonna love it. Let's focus on the here and now though before we look at that. But we'll have Sigma. We'll have them Enchantress, Nyx, Live still being banned out. We get Visage as well as Clockwork coming up from Sigma. So good range initiation and to a level burst damage and control coming out from the Visage. And then NextKZ, they go with their standard maneuverability kind of lineup. So Puck, he is fast, nimble, and quick. And then you got the Nature's Prophet, who is a little bit slower, but has that global ability of his. So it will be everywhere on the map, having some kind of influence. So Sigma's going to be very, very mindful of that. But luckily for them, they do have two rather tanky heroes as their first two pickups.
Yeah, and looks like Ember Spirit is completely being neglected in this matchup. I'm not sure it's because... Oh, okay. Speaking of which...
It was a Vorst, by the way, who was playing him in today's earlier game. So they put him in the number 1 or 4 position. So I'm interested to see if Sigma is going to look to do the same kind of thing right now. Because with Luna now being picked up by NextKZ, their pushing power is quite high. And I'm wondering if they want to try and put Ember... Like, how would you mix Ember Spirit into a lineup? Would you want him in the mid? Would you want him off? Would you want him... Well, obviously not off lane because you got a clockwork. Would you want him as the core? Or would you want him as a mid solo?
Generally speaking, Ember Spirit can only be played in the 1 or 2 position because the hero in nature requires a lot of farming experience and it has 0 escape mechanism, so it can't really offlane. And then as a support, it's sort of poor in its ability to support. Like, it's not a guarantee stun, which is his Q, and then his shield is bricks at level 1, which is 50 mana. 50 magic damage, so the absorption is way too low for it to be effective harassing utility. So it honestly can only go mid solo if and only if it's some sort of melee hero like Dragon Knight, for example, where you can just get very close so your fire shield actually is doing a fair amount of work. But in a Puck versus Ember Spirit matchup, which is what we're seeing right now, if it was middle, but it's not going to be, because the Puck, all he needs to do is click Q once, and the Ember Shield's going to break until level 2, where it absorbs 200 damage. So this is going to be definitely Ember Spirit on the 1.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have some help with Lion now coming up as a secondary support. So we get Visage Lion support combo with an Ember Spirit on the safe lane and then Clockwork. Or would you still run this? Could you run this aggro? Could you run an aggro try with Ember?
I don't believe so, because the Ember Spirit requires a lot of levels to be able to start dealing those heavy amount of damages. And Lion is not the best aggressive tri laner. If they wanted to do aggressive tri lane, they'd probably pick another nuker, like a Crystal Maiden, Lina, or something that would also give it a little burst for the Soul Sum should it reach its full potential.
I can understand that. I can understand that. So pull it, buy himself some space, make sure the supports rotate around, and just zone out the offlaner. Goal? Successful? Maybe.
Yeah, but it is trying to farm up against the Lunas, and as we've seen before, trying to farm up against the Luna late game is never ideal. But trying against Luna is even worse, because as long as they pick up 2 strong supports, what they have yet to do, they can pick up Rubik right here, which have a lot of good spells to steal, and a very effective head zoning Clockwork, because it can lift him out of his own cogs when he does cog, and he can't escape like he normally does. So I presume this should be a pickup from NextKZ here, unless they have some other surprising supports they have in store for us. Alright.
Rubik. Oh, he's got amazing things to steal for this Rubik. His level of control in this game should be insanely high. Not to mention he's a great pickup against a Clockwork. But if you even, like, if there is even a slight moment the Lion can give out that ultimate finger towards Rubik, I'm seeing Sigma just pop up. I'm liking NextKZ's lineup a lot more right now. They're a lot more stable in their lanes. Their pushing power is quite impressive. Their initiation is also there. I'm just liking it as an all-round lineup from NextKZ.
Yeah, it definitely is. And they can't even pick a junglers for last pick, so they haven't shown what they fully want to do. While Sigma, they don't have many options. They already pick on their triple lane and their off laner, and it's just their left or middle. So NextKZ is probably going to ban out some initiation or follow-up on the Clockwork. Reaver, really?
Dire team pick.
That's what you think is going to be the last one here? It's... Unless they try and run Weaver in the middle lane would be the only other thing. Unless NextKZ knows something we don't about their positioning of lanes. They could have been thinking the Clockwork would end up in the middle lane, and then you'd have to look at the Weaver as an off-lane hero. Oh, that would just be weird.
Yeah, I think that was just a throwaway ban. I don't think that's fits in any sort of circumstances of Sigma, or perhaps they're misinterpreting what this Ember Spirit is actually doing.
Yeah.
That may be another reason.
Well, they won't misinterpret a Fate of Beastmaster. He loves that hero and will always play him in the mid solo. So we get Beastmaster up against the Puck in the mid then. And I'm interested to see if Sigma do want to head down south, because I'm not seeing that Clockwork having a great time at all up against Luna and Rubik.
Yeah, definitely not any experience, especially with the Venge pickup.
Life just got so much harder. It just got so much harder.
Yeah, I want to note the amount of sheer push power from just auras from NextKZ. Like, they have Venge Aura and then Luna Aura, which those two combined is basically giving you like 40-50 damage at like even level, only 2 levels in them. So the power to push is definitely evident from NextKZ's lineup. While Sigma, they have very large difficulties in sieging, so they're going to be focusing a lot more on the team fight wise, and then try to take Tower Beastmaster after they have won a fight, because yeah, none of the heroes have some special ability to siege.
That no one does. It's just, yeah. This is why I'm a lot bigger fan of NextKZ's lineup. It just has so much more power to it. Even the DPS out there, you want to start combining up a Luna as well as a VS Aura onto the back of Nature's Prophet if he finds even a remote amount of farm. And every single one of these guys could just turn themselves into good physical DPSs later on. And that'll eat through Sigma. Like, just the aura stack of that. And it's a good thing Beastmaster's aura can't be stolen by Rubik, or else Sigma will be even bigger trouble.
And as we see right now, Luna actually picked up the Wraith ban at the start, so he has even more base attack of a 74. And then imagine if there's 12% more added to that as well from Vengeful Spirit. So I expect this tower to go down very fast at the bottom lane when they do decide to siege it. Probably around level 4 or 5, or maybe even earlier, depending on what they're feeling like. But Nature's Prophet, he's interestingly... starting items is 3 Clarity and a Tango, which is unconventional. You usually see the Gloves or Haste.
That's a jungle start.
Yeah, this is like a jungle start, Nature's Prophet. Usually you either see Boots or Glove of Haste to start on the off lane so you can rush into fast face Boots or Midas, depending on what you favor.
This almost looks like Mandus wants to give up the entire top lane, get the first bit of experience, and then just get himself out of the lane as quickly as possible. Unfortunately for him, well, he's doing a very, very, very good block. But then again, so is W33. He's managed to hold that way back a long way. So Mans creates possibly the most ugliest treants ever created by man. And Lions is going to stop his first Clarity. So that was all worth the mana, all worth the 50 gold.
Yeah, and Clockwork doing his cutesy play with the Coggy and creep. He's going to get a full creep wave, but it's going to get denied, so he's not going to get the full level 2 off of this, unfortunately. Or is he? Is he going to? No, he's going to get it. Didn't get a second deny on the creep. So now he has Rocket Spam to possibly try to block up this camp as well. But interestingly, Beastmaster Hawk. Alright.
It's rune control from the very, very start for Fader, but rune control's not helping him because Wadafucker is harassing him down. I think he just realized too, like, with that Hawk coming up, he could just harass him directly and not have a ball on his tail either.
I think he's trying to block up the camp with the Hawk, if anything. That's what his intention was to do. He summoned as soon as he hit level 2, but the low-level Hawk, it's very low movement speed. And the smoke ran out from NextKZ.
I thought that didn't work anymore. I know they changed it so couriers can't block up camps anymore. But
I think Hawk still can.
That Hawk can?
I believe so. I might not be right on that one, but Miguel, he's trying to spot out the smoke gank, but it's already too late. And NextKZ with the ward on the hill, they can easily see Fada.
Yeah, and he moves down, but they can't reach him for the telekinesis. And these are 2 heroes that are trying to attack before they have their level 2s. Miguel was also rotating up the river, and he ends up just stealing the rune.
Yeah, and top lane right now. Ooh, he
Oh,
might
they
be in a
jump.
little bit of trouble.
Yeah, there's a first stun. Follow-up stun from Matt as well as the great chill from Pass. And man, it's just trying to dish out as much damage to Matt before he dies. But first blood is most definitely up here on the top lane going the way of Sigma.
Yeah, very well played by Emberspeed right there. He used the Sleight of Fist to give him the jump to get off the Searing Chain. And just like that, first blood, and he got it as well. And he didn't miss a single creep while doing so. So we're going to see a pretty fat Ember Spirit. Maybe he'll opt to go Hannah Midas. I'm not personally a big fan of that item on Ember Spirit, but I'd like to see what he build. As Havas had some interesting item build on this hero.
I didn't get to look at the details for it all. So, did you see the build for it?
Yeah, Havas went Mana Boots into early Maelstrom into Desolator and Daedalus. So it was sort of a glass cannon build that Havas opted to go. It was like a 1,000 HP Ember Spear just casually running around while ditching thousands of damage. Definition of glass cannon.
I suppose so. When Ember Spirit has his jump, like it's okay. Because you should have a way to get out of there, or at least buy time for your Chen to pop off the Hand of God. So yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, but the thing is, he melted in less than 3 seconds of time, and we see Smoke right now in this game.
They're going to find again Mantis if they can get in range for the stun, but...
he has boot, and Lion does not.
Yeah. Movement speed, 280 against the 345, so yeah, not going to go well. I was just realized here, why doesn't Observer Ward have a movement speed of 300? I'm just saying.
I'm not sure. That's it seems like when they originally made the game, every unit had the base movement speed of 300, and then they just never set it back to 0.
Like,
that's what it seems like to me.
It's like, Ward should be able to move then. If they got a movement speed, they should be able to move.
Yeah, it's kind of true in that regard. Every unit in this game which has a movement speed can move. Why can't Wards? But we see a double wave from bottom lane right now, so the push is definitely imminent. And this is the level 4 on Luna I was talking about. And Miguel's be very careful. Like, if he tries to be a little bit too greedy within lift range or stun range revenge, he's dead. Like, there's no escape.
His big upside, though, is the fact that we haven't seen Amazing or Reeves find any good levels. Like, Reeves is still only a level 2 Rubik. Vengeful Spirit's a level 2 VS. So you got Howl, you got 1 point up in the stun, but there's no points up in the aura right now, so you're not seeing that stack aura pushing in, so it's not as scary for Miguel here on the bottom lane. It's scary, but not as scary as it could be.
Yeah, he might skill at level 3 here, or maybe he'll up. Yep, there it is. There's the aura, and this is the death push.
Yeah.
And Great Rocket's gonna pull the Crip Wave off.
Telekinesis, pull back into the stun. Miguel, he might cog quickly. No, he doesn't. Decides to run and just die instead, but at the same time up on top lane, looks like Prophet gets sniped out.
Yeah,
as Ember Spirit is glowing beautifully.
Glowing beautifully indeed. And he opted to go for the face boots, so he won't have the mana boots to really boost him in the early stages of just keep farming and fighting without having to go to base. But bottom lane, I want to talk about how Miguel tried to pull the creep wave off the tower with the rocket, and he was too close. If he was a little bit further behind, he would have gotten the creep wave off, and he would have survived. And that would have been a very big deal, because this tower just suffers 700 damage on it without much of anything happening in favor of Sigma, because Miguel died and he didn't get any of the experience that went under the tower.
You're right. Let's actually stop looking at our off lanes for a moment while they all just passively push. And look towards middle lane. It's so neck and neck for experience here, as well as for the money. Who's really going to come out on top in this matchup? Because Fader's already going to approach his level... he's got level 6, but his bottle's coming out right now, so he'll get his mana back up so he can start roaring again. But where is this rotation coming from the mid-solos? They haven't left their lanes just yet.
Neither lane can really afford to lead their middle lane, because it'll be really obvious. Their opponent is just going to call the missing right away, and since it's both defensive tri-lanes, it's very difficult to gank both the short lane and the long lane of your team. So you might as well just sort of sit there and farm, like what they're doing right now. And whoever comes in ganks middle, it's going to be the decider that breaks the middle, this passive deal. But looks like neither team wants to do it, because it's going to be quite a bit of commitment, and it's a high difficulty task to kill the opposing mids right now.
Yeah. You want to try and kill off a puck, you got to make sure you're right on top of him when you start it off. And with Beastmaster, if he turns into Roar and Axes and there's just a quick TP support coming in, you could find yourself being counter-initiated on. And all that hard work and rotation you do turns into kills for the opposition. So yeah, maybe you're right. Just passively farm, push. Like bottom lane right now, the Luna. Approaching level 6 rather quickly. Also see him with the helm of the Dominator. Yes. So that's the build at least he's working towards. So
Yeah,
it really is commitment to farm coming out from NextKZ right now. And then their timing push will be very powerful when it does come.
Yeah, but speaking about Luna's items, he actually opted to get the Wraith Band like we talked about earlier. So there is no Ring of Basilius. And honestly, this tower would be dead if he had that +2 armor on the creeps. So perhaps a little questionable choice from Luna, because I rarely see this Wraith Band pick up early on, because you already have very high base damage, so the Wraith Band doesn't provide that much for last hitting purposes, and your mana cost on your spells that the 3 intelligence provides, it's neglectable. The mana regeneration from Ring of Basilius is much better. So perhaps that's probably a misclick on the Wraith Band. Like sometimes when boss buys a no talisman on agility heroes, some sort of deal like that. But yeah.
I'm watching this Ember Spirits build. Just as far as skill build goes, like the 3 points up into the Flame Guard, like I can understand the Searing Change because like there's no extra stun duration, not massive at least. You want to go up to 3 seconds at level 3, whoopity-doo-dah. But he's going to have to get down there right now and help out bottom lane if they want to hold this tier 1 tower. This is when we see Sigma's choice. Are they happy to lose towers for farm on the Ember Spirit? Even if it is going to be a tier 2 tower as well, because I don't see NextKZ stopping. They're pushing in further. Tier 2 tower is definitely on the menu.
Yeah, definitely is. And there's still no Ring of Basilius, so these creeps are very easy to kill. So perhaps this might not be a successful push, but this is a 5-man commitment. So unless Sigma
Here comes the TPs.
responds,
The Visage TP'd into the tier 3 tower, and that's why Ember Spirit's here on the front lines, but it's nowhere near aggressive enough to catch out NextKZ. The hero is 5 men as well, which is probably the main reason why it's not aggressive. But Fader, he went invis, just disappeared from the middle lane. And the rest of NextKZ fell back.
and a counter smoke right now, but Ember Spirit teleports top, last hits, so if Mantes was watching, that definitely blew away the smoke. And he should be able to tell his team that and to be careful for the next couple of minutes.
The smoke from bottom lane, which was pass as well as Mad.
Dire's bottom tower has
See,
been
this is that whole thing like having to be right on top. Well, Manus on top lane. Yeah, W33 had a crack at him and forced the TP out from at least amazing. So now the Vengeful Spirit can come and help out mid, but pass as well as Mad. They're rotating. Cameras went crazy. They're rotating up towards the top lane. I don't know if they're trying to pick up Nature's Prophet as he runs back through this area, but they won't be fast enough. So their only other choice is to come in towards the mid lane and look for Waterfucker. And they're looking, it's going to work perfectly. While Clockwork might go down on the bottom lane, Waterfucker's getting Soul Assumption down. There was no mana for a Roar from the Beastmaster, but it becomes a Clockwork for a puck. And also look at the money on Fader. Okay, he just spent it. Was that Necro? He bought Blink Dagger, and his bottle's coming down as well.
Yeah, his Clockwork is still not level 6, so his team needs initiation, needs a little jump boost that his team really needs, so he's giving it to them through the Blink Dagger. And NextKZ, on the other hand, very similar situation, and Puck was actually only 100 gold off from the Blink Dagger of her very own, so that was a pretty critical gank onto that Puck.
Yeah, you trade one Blink Dagger for another, except one's on your opposition. So when we go coming into middle lane 2, Reed's going to bring the Arcane Boots over on that Rubik. He's almost level 6, and then we got to start looking for these ability steals too.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate that Beastmaster has individual spells for the Hawk and board nowadays, so it's not as efficient as before where you get the Hawk and the board within one steal. It's kind of sucky, but nonetheless, the board is the Hawk is still very good.
Manus is heading back up to that top lane. Even for his Hand of Midas, it's really concerning for an Nature's Prophet. 10 minutes in, you got a Hand of Midas and basic brown boots. And almost level 8. He's
the middle tower right now. It's taking a lot of damage. It's going to go down.
Yeah, and Beastmaster will take it. I still find it hilarious that Fader's doing this entire push and entire fighting without a single level up in the Inner Beast. He put everything into the Hawk Ball combo.
Yeah, partially because probably the reason the board actually is kind of buff now because you can actually have two of them simultaneously. So it sort of makes sense to max the call the wild, and the wild axis is just for creep wave clearing very quickly.
But without having in a beast, they can't run in there and try and take out Roshan.
Yeah, that's definitely a downfall. But I guess they don't plan on taking it early because they don't have a medallion yet, which actually just came. Paz already just picked one up. So, yeah, they can definitely look to do Roshan, but it's kind of scary to do Rosh pit with a Luna and a Puck on the other team.
And Fader got a little bit unlucky there with the runes. Spawns on bottom will be a haste rune for him. I'm still watching this money because I really feel like NextKZ, they have to do with necro units coming out from Fader shortly. With 1600 gold up his sleeve, blink down, takes the haste rune, and then you get the already face shift from Wadafaka. If Fader wants to try and have a crack at this, he possibly could. But he's going to back up anyway. And top lane will be taken out by his teammates while he's playing around the bottom river.
Yeah, and
TPs are coming in. There's no stuns left over on these familiars, so they couldn't have a crack straight at Reeves. But Ember
Power's
Spirit,
still going to go down.
Yeah, with the catapult there as well. In fact, the catapult's the one that gets the kill there. It's just done over towards Reeves, and a straight follow-up. You talk about a glass cannon coming out from Ember Spirit. He still took a lot of damage coming in like that, but with Pass combined together, they can destroy anybody really, really quick.
Yeah, in response, they're trying to push out middle lane, but there might be a wraparound from Sigma right now, especially with that haste rune on Beastmaster. They have to be very careful.
There's perfect vision around the side too. Even though the Hawk is already here, there's an Observer and Sentry Ward over on the hillside as well. Yeah, they see everything. BKB or Deso for Ember?
That's definitely going to be a Desolator.
Oh, what a
first,
fucker!
but
Jumps in right now. The Silenced Ember Spirit. He leaps away. So far away. That escape mechanism is ridiculous.
yeah, they need to commit a silence plus another stun, follow-up stun, and kill him. Right now, if they try to commit the puck only, it's not going to be successful because he can just jump back to Fountain in a moment's notice.
It's crazy that some hero has like that much maneuverability. Bottom lane is being pushed out in the meantime by Sigma. They're going to be pushed back a little bit by the clock, by the Nature's Prophet ultimate. But they got some help. Lion with a level 6. He's just looking to finger anybody that comes down at this bottom lane. And decides, okay, no one's coming, so they heading towards middle lane. The defense of the mid-tier 1 tower. Fortification is available. But Miguel's still a long way away.
Yeah, indeed. And it doesn't look like they're actually trying to go middle. They're trying to just scare off NextKZ. But NextKZ are committing for this tower. There are 5 people here, and Clockwork realizes that and is starting to rotate. But it's going to be too late. Or perhaps not, because there's Beastmaster's helping with Blink. He's initiating on Prophet.
There's your Aurora on Prophet. Finger straight away. Luna will throw the ulti out. But he's already lost his Rubik as well as his Nature's Prophet, who brought back to TP into here. But amazing. Locked inside the cogs, and wonderful double stun coming out from Lion. Miguel will still take the double kill down this middle lane. And they're rotating up looking for the Luna. Nature's Prophet just abandoned his teammates. Oh, they found the Luna. The trees were created. The stun came out there from their stand in W3-3. Luna at least does a little bit of damage before she dies. But they just lost all 5 heroes of an SKZ with one of them buying back. For no advantage whatsoever. In fact, they will probably even lose this tier 1 tower in mid. Because it's within deny range right now.
Yeah, that was a very poor situation for NextKZ, and especially with Ember Spear being in the middle of that, he got full experience and gold out of that. Just like that, he's almost already level 11, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Desolator, because if he can buy the Ogre Axe right now, but he's opting not to. So we're going to see a similar Glass Cannon build, but from our Ember Spirit in this game, but not as next Glass Cannon, because he does have a drum for a little tank ability.
Yeah, it's like the extra insurance for the moment. And I was writing about the Necro units now appearing on Fader. He's still got his basic brown boots that builds up into his level 1 Necro book. And now they just found a haste rune on bottom river too. So that one will... Oh, the trees. Prophet. Is he just going to deny it? Yeah, he does. But there's no reason for W33 to break out of that smoke. That's why he's phase booting and running away from the trees. They're looking for someone to kill in this bottom lane, but they won't find anybody. But at the same time, they don't really want to find anybody. This, in fact, now turns Sigma into a pushing lineup. Because Beastmaster's really racking up the levels now. He's got the 1 point up in the Inner Beast. But just their damage output and the ability to clean up creep waves is just so quick.
Yeah, and NextKZ realizing that they can't fight right now, they're just gonna trade the tower for tower, but I'm not sure what they're gonna do after that because there's no way they can push in a tier 2 with the threat of so much initiation from Sigma. So they're gonna have to fall back and just try to farm or defend. And actually, Sigma's going for a trade, so they're gonna force the issue whether NextKZ tries to come back and defend, which is not really possible, or keep pushing, which is endangering his team, as Clockwork is already trying to make the rotation in the top. So Sigma definitely has the intention of fighting.
Clockwork's also being a real pain in the ass to him. Like, his first rocket almost took away almost all their life points. Even Manus right now, in fact, he does go down. I'm not quite sure what did the initial damage just then. Clockwork's going to hook himself in. They got Amazing. The Cogs force backs Reeds. And Amazing still locked inside the Cogs. He'll die inside of there. Want to fuck a first TP out. But the TP now being used. Stunned up on the Luna. Oh, not in time. And the TP back to base.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, NextKZ is just quickly running out of options. They couldn't have pushed there, but Sigma forced the push, so they thought, okay, maybe we can trade. And then Sigma with the quick rotations in the top lane with Clockwork already being there. Just an easy swipe for them.
What did the initial damage to Prophet? Because he just basically went from 80% down to about 5%.
The birds were doing damage to him, and then
Familiars.
the rocket came in and just finished him off. I mean, it was quite insane how that turned out.
It's like this man has had nothing to give, and now he's trying to build into a Necro unit, and, oh, yeah, man, Sigma, they're DPS right now. I don't think he can even afford to go into a Necro unit. He needs survivability to a point. Look at a huge-ass frog, which used to be Roshan. But they laid a lit smacker on him and bring him back to life again, and they just kill off Roshan. With the medallion as well, Parkorb is on the way, and it will hit on Miguel, so they know what's going on. But Sigma can still finish this job. NextKZ are not in a position to fight. The only downside is Sigma doesn't know that.
Yeah, they don't. But Prophet, I personally, I feel should have learned a mechanism this game, especially with the push lineup they intended on doing. A mech would have been very good because you're fighting fairly often early on.
And that would be a stability as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but he didn't offer that, so he suffered quite a bit of the 0-4-0 score that he has currently, and it's going to be very hard for him to catch up because this Hawk is everywhere. It's going to choke out how much and where can NextKZ farm in middle lane. No, not even get the power off.
Ember Spirit's jump is ridiculous. Sorry, I just followed him right then. It's like straight to the tier 2 tower in mid, and then into Roshan. How can someone have such high maneuverability? And with this Desolator up now, with the Medallion of Courage, it was negative 10 armor on Roshan. This will take now Sigma even less time than it was even taking him before.
Yeah, but there is a Prophet, Toby, in this game, and I guess we're all used to how mobile Prophet is, so we kind of neglected him. But yeah, Ember Spirit definitely a high mobility hero as well, and he's very difficult to kill unless you can stun lock him.
And they don't really have that from NextKZ. NextKZ's lineup isn't really designed for stun locks. Like, yeah, I suppose you could say you got VS stun, you got telekinesis, you got puck silence. Like, you do have all of those things together, but that means you kind of still have to run a 5-man lineup. And if you're doing that, I'm pretty sure Sigma's going to have their support. And they've got such a huge range Raw coming out from Beastmaster with a Blink Dagger jump in. You got Clockwork who can hook shot in. You've then got Lion who's throwing out stuns, hexes, and insane burst damage for that finger level 1. And then Visage. Like you talked about the familiar burst dishing out the damage Nature's Prophet, and then just the rocket finished him off.
Yeah. There's a lot of mobility and push team fight ability, actually not push, from Sigma as the lineup right now. And with this Aegis on Ember Spirit, he's not afraid to place up in an enemy base, honestly, because he knows he can escape as soon as he revive with his ultimate. So right now, he's impossible to really kill twice in a row, in my opinion. And he's just gonna keep playing in the front like this. And if NextKZ tries to go on this Ember, his whole team will back him up. And once he revives everything, he's gonna melting everything.
One good thing for the Luna, BKB now done. Back to the base and, well, almost. Gonna be buying it up. Manus will be heading out towards that top lane. So he's just trying to defend it out. At least he managed to find his level 2 Necro unit. And if Sigma 2 give him the space, he will hit level 3. In saying that, Fader already finished his level 3. So, And Aghanims being 1,750 gold away for Clockwork. More jump-ins, more harassment.
The Clockwork has gotten pretty rich after the initial terrible start that he had. So it's nice to see him coming back a little bit. And this Clockwork is going to be very difficult to kill. He hook shots in and force-steps him out. I don't imagine him dying. And once he picks up Aghanim Scepter, he can just keep doing that repeatedly.
Well, here they come on bottom lane. The tier 2 tower was staying just above denier range for a while. And actually, since their last push in that bottom. But now Sigma will group up as 5. They want to commit to this. This is for the tier 3 tower, if not more. So up they come towards the high ground. Luna's already TP'd back into this fight. And the Fable does clean up a lot of that creep wave, but W33 is looking for that extra little harassment once he heads up high ground. Just to also point out what's in the line here, is Sigma lose this, they're out of the competition. And if NextKZ end up losing this, they're also out of the competition. Well, yeah, they're out of the competition. Both these teams must win to force a tiebreaker match tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, Ember Spear's falling very quickly, but...
The tower attack!
Man.
Yes, to try and jump! Couldn't disjoint it in time.
Actually, you can't destroy auto attacks with the Fire Remnant. It's just a relocation of your hero. It's not actually a blink.
Okay.
So attacks that have gone off already, it will follow him. So we might see some crazy scenarios where Ember Spirit teleports out, but still end up dying across the map.
We all of a sudden just see the Tinker rockets come up.
Yeah, perhaps something along those lines. But Ember Spirit, he just bought something. That's Crystallis.
Well, he's going full DPS, so Desolated now going into a Daedalus and Deso.
Yeah, full glass cannon build.
That's a crap ton of damage, but as you said, like it's a proper glass cannon. And it's a proper glass cannon too, because you don't even have armor for this guy. It's like 5 armor. 5 armor in a matchup when you're going up against a Vengeful Spirit who currently is also removing 5 armor.
Yeah, I mean, he's not expecting to survive in these teamfights. That's why he's just casually sitting back, waiting out Roshan to spawn and just get Aegis every time. All he wants to do is just slide a fist every time it's up and into the enemy base and just slowly siege the base. But it's not the most efficient way to do it. But once you're ahead like this far with a glass cannon build, you can probably even sometimes like one-shot the Rubik or Avenge because they're just so squishy and underfarmed.
Fader. He's soloing Luna right now with the Necro units as well as himself. He knew he had to basically run away from this though, and that's why Dreamcall comes in, Puck will TP in, and Fader is basically dead. Wild Axes was stolen from him, but the Necro units are not giving up. That rocket is actually able to hit there on the Luna, so the Necro units are running in with the boar as well. But Luna will be fine.
Yeah. And Fada sacrificing his life there, definitely not worth it. Not worth it because he didn't really get anything out of it besides a little bit of damage. Right now, NextKZ are just casually, happily farming, but I feel like this is sort of not what they should be doing because Roshan's going to spawn very soon and Sigma's going to slay it really fast and have it on the Ember Spear once again. And then on the next push, he's going to probably finish the Daedalus, and that's very scary, especially for your supports who's trying to D-push, so you run up and try to fade ball or put an Aurora out, and then you notice very quickly your whole health bar is gone. If not, you're dead.
Yeah, this is this time I don't think too we'll see W33 hold back, because I really felt like he held back during that last push. took out the creep wave, realized his creep wave was gone, and then just backed up and died to a tower. Like, that's not the way you want an Aegis Demon to trigger. You want to go down in style.
Yeah, you definitely do. You want to bring someone down with you. And he definitely did not do that with those last Aegis, so we'll probably see him play a lot more aggressive. But the Puck right now, ooh, tagging too. He's going to run into Lion.
Yeah, there's a blink away, and then follows over, but, oh, okay, with the Dagon too, he can kill off the Lion straight away. But Ember Spirit's also on the way in. And what a fucker, he doesn't have his orb up just yet, and there's your damage. Burned up the Puck, and that's a solo kill to the Ember Spirit. All goes to the Buy Him a Daedalus fund.
Right now, NextKZ's hero are all pretty much armorless besides the Luna. It's kind of very scary. This Ember Spirit is just gonna happily chop them off, just like what we saw. And it's all it takes is 2 sleight of fists. That's all it takes. That's just like 6 seconds in between. And if they're not too careful, yeah, in these base defenses, we might just see a very easy GG for Sigma. They just lose a hero to sleight of fist.
You could be right, man. For now, the battle continues on, though, as Sigma. It really does feel like they're waiting for Roshan, but with every single man of Sigma grouping up in the middle lane, maybe they won't wait. There's 3 familiars ready to fight. There's a Clockwork with an Aghanim Scepter. There's a Beastmaster with a Blink into Roar with 3 levels Necro units. And then you got an Ember Spirit, who is walking around with Crystallis and Daedalus. Critting up at 365, bouncing through. How much damage did you just deal to Reeves?
He did 360, and that was without the crit. So, another QC play you can do Ember Spirit, you can just put your Spirit down on top of your enemy and then just run in by yourself and don't use the Spirit, and then you can buy back and teleport to it. Sort of the Spectre style, where you just go deal as much damage as you can, come back and haunt them even more. So, I don't know if focusing Ember Spirit is the correct decision there, but if they don't focus him, it's going to be a troublesome.
Oh, Puck jumping him. 2 on the Dream Call, but Clockwork also hook-shotting into one of the creeps on the side, but there's your stuns, and a double kill coming for W33. Fader taking up a hell of a lot of that Eclipse, but then Ember Spirit just stands his ground, jumps to the other side. Triple kill coming in from the Glass Cannon, and he's not finished yet. It's an ultra kill for the Ember Spirit, bringing down the Puck on the other side of the tree line. And now you'll TP back to base. Just to heal up quickly.
Daedalus. Oh no, he actually gets a BKB. It's quite surprising considering how he had a Crystallis in his inventory and he could finish, but middle right now.
He comes straight back and then jumps on a Wadafucker who orbed up high ground, which means it's just a quick follow-up. It's now godlike for W33. He went back to base, picked up the BKB, left his Spirit there, and then traveled all the way back again.
Yeah, I mean, and he's gonna pick up his regen right at top.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
Oh man, now he can actually go back to farming instead of going back to base for healing.
And who asked the question if Ember Spirit would be played or not? It's the reason why it gets banned out. In our first game, we have at least Castia and MLG TKO for today.
Yeah, it's a very disgusting here, I would say, if you're on, especially on the Dire side, just keep abusing the fact that you can have Aegis, so you can go to this greedy Glass Cannon, build an Ember Spirit, and get away with it. Because you just farm till you have Aegis, and then you do one push, and then it's always going to be successful, because this Ember Spirit is just dishing thousands of damage to every single target that he slides a fist on, which is quite a significant AoE, 550. That is almost like half your screen.
Yeah. The hilarious thing is, we were always saying it was Earth Spirit who was disgusting, but since his nerfs, he's no longer anywhere near as disgusting anymore. And Ember Spirit just seems to be that man where, like, you remember when we get the 3 spirits come into the game, and they did the whole you get Earth, you get Fire, you get Wind Storm. Yet the 3 spirits come up, and Ember Spirit was played so much during the first couple of days, and then completely dropped off because they just said he was useless. That was the general consensus from the community, saying Ember Spirit was useless.
Yeah, but professional players are telling them otherwise right now. And another QC play about Ember Spirit is that you can leave your 5 Remnant inside Roche Pit, and it'll give you a little bit of vision. But if you leave your 5 Remnant inside Roche Pit, but just enough vision to see if Roshan is there or not. So it's another thing you can abuse Ember Spirit for, just for it to spot out the Roshan, similar to how Scion traps work on TA, but yeah, just another thing that he can do with his ulti.
Such a man of many talents, this Ember Spirit. A man
Indeed.
of many, many talents.
I mean, his talent is to just kill everything, but I guess that's good enough.
Do you actually want to know the result? Just double checking over on the D2CL game as well. The Ember Spirit lost in that matchup.
Yeah, indeed, and I'm actually not surprised by the result because Quaifa's Tinker is sick, very sick late game, and that is definitely a very good game to watch right now. Navi versus Liquid.
Luckily, you'll be able to check out the VODs later on youtube.com/join Dota, which is where we put all the TKO VODs as well. So the TKO VODs go up straight away. D2CL has to wait 2 days, but yeah, they'll all end up there eventually. All eventually. And eventually Sigma end back up to Roshan. And this will be third Roshan while up on the top lane. Looks like Prophet got picked off. Miguel and Fader teaming up together. But Roshan's up and Prophet is down. And in comes the Ember Spirit. Or at least his spirit of the spirit.
Yeah, he sees us right now.
He's walking back to base to heal up. And then he'll come back out to the spirit.
Yeah.
Tell me that thing has a cooldown.
The 35 seconds.
You could walk across the entire map in that time.
Indeed. And a smoke, so they're actually trying to bait Roshan. Or they might just... No, they're definitely trying to bait Roshan. And right now, middle lane, Fada.
Worked. Clockwork hooks in, battery assault, and then Finger of Death comes in from the Lion. So Roshan bait successful. Another call error from NextKZ on the sidelines. And that was NextKZ's initiator that goes down. This is going to be a very, very quick Roshan. In they come. It's not a full Daedalus though for W33 just yet, but he's still got another 2k gold now.
Yeah, he's going to be able to finish it very quickly if he gets the last hit on Roshan right now. Let's see if he does. So he's only missing 900, and he did, so he's only missing 400 now. So he's going to be able to get the Daedalus by the next time they push. So that's quite significant. As we already saw in the previous team fight, he didn't even need the Daedalus to chop through all those heroes of NextKZ. I say hero, but they're more like pork chops.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's like these little Minecraft pigs, you know, they're defenseless. They can't do anything against you. But then you combine them up with coal and nom nom nom. W33, yeah, they just give him the middle lane's creep wave. Meanwhile, up on top lane, Manners, he tried to do a split push here. Now, Fader doesn't have Raw. 3 seconds on cooldown. Battery assault, forced up through the tree lines. They can see Manners perfectly. Meantime, looks like Ember Spirit did get a kill. In fact, he's got 2 kills. And then, oh, he jumped himself away with the Spirit. He'll at least avoid the Dagon attack, which came from Puck, which was used to kill off Lion instead. But Ember Spirit is now back alive again, and he has enough money to buy up that Daedalus now. The only downside for him, he says he has no Aegis the Immortal. On the upside, there's only Puck as well as Luna left to deal with. And now Puck jumps back in again. No stun though, because the silence came out in W33. Hey, cheeky.
Yeah, he tried to go for the kill right there, but this time around, he definitely used the Aegis like it was meant to be used. Definitely bringing down 2 of NextKZ's hero in a 3 versus 1 scenario. So that just shows you how powerful that hero is.
And I still wait for the day now when we get like in power with the Ember Spirit.
Man, dude, I
rack that up. Could you imagine giving him cleave as well as a damage buff?
Yeah, especially the empower, which is 50%. Oh man, that actually almost like doubles the efficiency of the ability.
Yeah,
it's kind of sickening.
And then you can imagine it, like you got RP pulling everyone together. He's like bounce, 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 cleave, 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 cleave.
It's almost like a one-shot combo, honestly. Now that you say it and I think about it.
Oh, what a fuck!
Yeah,
he's out here. He's out here, and he drops a Puck who's up here, down to half of his life points.
Look at that VS.
And then VS swap, then the Spirit away, but then the crit. VS dies almost instantly as he just keeps bouncing around. Fader low on life, but with the BKB up from Ember Spirit, jumps in again. Soul Assumption and just destroys. GG. Ember Spirit in this game will take the win. And Sigma will keep their TKO hopes alive. They needed to win this game.
Victory.
They needed to win this game to keep it alive and force a possible tiebreaker tomorrow. But they have one more opponent, man. And their next opponent may not be as kind. It's going to be Virtus Pro. That's the next match coming up. So stay tuned, peoples. We'll be back here. Game is scheduled to start 7 minutes time. So short break, and we'll see you back here for VP going up against Sigma to see if Sigma can, in fact, force the tiebreaker up against Power Rangers tomorrow evening. Stay tuned. We'll find out together.